viewer, it's another edition of Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. We hope you're staying safe as the federal government and all stakeholders join hands to contain the spread of the coronavirus, otherwise called COVID-19. Today, we're bringing you a special report for your viewing delight on the operations of the Transmission Company of Nigeria in the first quarter of the year 2020. It highlights the set targets, addition of power transformers, reconductoring of critical transmission lines, training sessions, and the progress of various power transmission projects. All these and more will make your viewing quite an exciting one as you stay with us in the next half hour. I am Chiwenwa Anyang.
The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, wants you to stay safe while stakeholders battle the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization, WHO, and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has outlined some safety tips for you. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with your hands unless they are properly cleaned and sanitized. Wash your hands regularly with clean running water and soap. Use alcohol-based sanitizers for your hands when you touch an open surface or in contact with someone. Maintain social distancing rules and keep at least 2 meters distance from others during this period. Report suspected cases to public health officials and the nearest NCDC platform. Finally, obey the stay-at-home rule except for essential workers like those of TCN, and follow other safety measures provided by governments and authorities from time to time. Together, we can defeat the coronavirus pandemic as you do your bit.
The Managing Director and CEO of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed, says improvement of welfare and capacity training for staff are top priority of the company in 2020 to ensuring that more power transmission projects are delivered. Here's what he said as the year kicked off.
We will continue to push our engineers to continue to implement the transmission rehabilitation and expansion program. That's what we're going to do. We will also continue to look at the staff welfare. We will continue to look at not only the work, we also have to look at how our staff are happy.
There is no doubt that the management of TCN is implementing these goals mapped out for the year 2020 to the letter. As the year began, the company recovered nearly 800 abandoned power equipment containers, which it had deployed to various project sites to drive the implementation of the Transmission Rehabilitation and Expansion Program, TREP.
Of the 810 containers abandoned at the ports by various contractors in the past, the company successfully recovered 790 of them and had moved them to various sites to complete power transmission projects, says Hajia Hawa Dembu, the Assistant General Manager, International Operations at TCN.
As of today, 790 containers have been cleared so far, and more are still in process of clearing.
She said the purpose of TCN driving the relentless efforts at clearing the stranded containers was to ensure that projects earlier slowed down are speedily completed for increased access to bulk power for onward supply to Nigerians.
Earlier this year, the Managing Director of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed, during a press briefing said between 2017 and October 2019, the company had installed 58 power transformers nationwide. The company is not yet done. It added to this list in the first quarter as it commissioned several power transformers. Our correspondent brings you the report starting the commissioning of a 300 MVA power transformer in Asaba, the Delta State capital.
TCN matched words with action on 10 January 2020 when it upgraded the 330 132 kilovolt Asaba transmission substation in Delta State by installing and commissioning a 300 MVA power transformer. The project was the first of 300 MVA power transformer to be installed, energized and commissioned by in-house engineers of TCN on a 330/132 kilovolt power transmission level. Shortly before the commissioning of the projects, the regional transmission manager, Enugu Region, Engineer Jack Emusheyi, spoke to the Power Week crew at the facility. He said the 330/132 kilovolt Asaba substation is one of the 5 330 stations in Enugu Region.
One of the substations under Enugu Region. As you know, Enugu Region have five number 330 kV substations and 13 number 122 kV substations. So, Asaba TS, the 150 kV transformer you had before now had challenge. So the transformer is out for repair. So in this place, we are installing a 300 kV transformer.
The senior manager system operation at the substation, Engineer Raji Dauda, said with the commissioning of the 300 MVA power transformer, TCN now has 240 megawatts available electricity evacuation capacity that will enable Benin Electricity Distribution Company to deliver improved electricity supply services to its customers in the coverage areas. The 330/132 Egbin substation in Lagos State became another focal point of the TCN engineering team as it successfully installed and commissioned a 30 MVA power transformer during the first quarter of this year. Here are the details. The Regional Transmission Manager, Lagos Region, Engineer Lamina Adebola, said TCN had to install the 30 MVA power transformer to service a 33 kV line that will benefit the Egbin host community.
TCN, under the new management, saw the need to assuage the suffering of this host community. So we now commenced the installation of a 30 MVA with all the auxiliary equipment, and so that we can serve the community, so that the community can also feel part of the dividend of our presence in that community.
Still in the Lagos region, TCN installed a 100 MVA transformer at Ogba substation and a 45 MVA transformer at the Apapa substation. At the Ogba substation, which serves the populated Ogba township and its environs under the Ikeja Disco, the newly installed 100 MVA power transformer stood glittering. The energizing of the power transformer means that about 80 megawatts of bulk power has been added to the 132/33 kilovolt substation. The senior manager system operation at the Ogba substation, Engineer Abajigin Ilesami, spoke about the completed expansion projects.
This one we are looking at is 100 MVA. This one can carry 80 megawatts, can wheel out 80 megawatts. The thing was designed with 3 feeders, but at the moment, they just have only one bay for 1 feeders available. So we are still expecting the distribution people to come and do the needful for them to be able to evacuate load from the transformer.
At the 132/33 kV Apapa transmission substation in Lagos, where a 45 MVA transformer was repositioned, the principal manager system operations at the Apapa substation, Engineer Mustafa Aliero Hassan, spoke about the impacts.
This transformer is a 45 MVA transformer relocated from the former position where it was before, with the aim at giving the supply to the distribution, that is local area of this place, at the same time providing supply to the Yaka Japanese company, which is who is going to construct new GIS substation 2x60 MVA to install 2x60 MVA transformers.
In addition to this, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has commissioned other power transformers. An operational record shows that TCN installed a 40 MVA transformer in Isako town of Edo State. The company also installed a power transformer at the Goso transmission substation in Zamfara State to boost the bulk power delivery capacity of TCN to the network of Kaduna Electric in the state. TCN further replaced a maximum power reactor at the Benin transmission substation in Benin City. Available records show that the reactor, which was gulped in an inferno earlier in 2019, was replaced to stabilize electricity voltage level on the national grid, especially as it affects bulk power delivery to the network of Benin Disco.
Away from the commissioning of bulk power transformers, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has initiated top-notch power transmission projects to boost access to bulk power. Power will cast a spotlight on the flag-off of the reconductoring of critical transmission lines in Lagos and the Abuja Power Transmission Ring project.
TCN began to take delivery of shipments of the high-capacity transmission line conductors to rehabilitate critical power lines since January 2020 in Lagos. The improved high-capacity power line conductor were stored at the 330 132 kV Ikeja West Transmission Substation in Ayobo. The Assistant General Manager Transmission at the Ikeja West Sub-Region, Engineer Kintola Mojid, while showing off the delivered shipment of conductors at the substation, mentioned other critical transmission lines to be rehabilitated.
In the northern part, we are going to reconductor Birnin Kebbi, Sokoto 132 kV line. We have some other ones in the eastern part of Nigeria too.
Few weeks after the arrival of the high-capacity conductors, TCN flagged off rehabilitation program for major transmission lines in Lagos region. The project comprises the rehabilitation of the 132 kV Ikeja West double-cycle transmission line from the Ikeja West substation at Oyobo and running to Alimosho. The rehabilitation continues from Alimosho to Ogba, Alausa, and a tee-off from Ogba to Ota in Ogun State. At the groundbreaking ceremony which held at the substation, TCN MD Mr. UG Mohammed said the project, when completed, will upgrade bulk power wheeling capacity significantly to improve supply to consumers.
The line has 664 megawatt of capacity of transformer. The current line, has only 200 megawatt of capacity. So this reconducting we do will increase the capacity by 2.5%, which will upgrade that line to 500.
The head transmission service provider TSP at TCN, Engineer Victor Adewumi, mentioned other transmission lines that have been marked for rehabilitation.
Some of the lines we are going to rehabilitate include Abaitu 122 kV line, Kaduna Adejia 122 kV line, Kumboso Kankea line, Onisha Oji River, Alaoji to Aba, Bini Iroa Upila Okene to Ajakuta, Akure Abekiti 122 kV line, Port Harcourt Main to Port Harcourt Town, Bini Cable Sokoto, among others.
TCN flagged off the Abuja Transmission Ring project in April 2019 to add 5 substations in the capital city to raise transmission capacity by 624 megawatts. The project manager for the French Development Agency, AFD-funded projects at TCN, Engineer Jane Nneka Okemili, spoke about the inspection tour of the project sites.
Though we have some teething problems at the initial stage, but now they are moving very fast, which we are impressed about the progress of work being done here.
The project sites visited include the new Apo site, where a 330 kV substation is being built, Kefi town of Nasarawa State, where the 330 kV transmission line will link to the new Apo substation from Lafia. Okemili said the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, was fully aware of the project.
We have officially informed them because during the groundbreaking, the MD of Abuja Electricity was invited for this program. And we believe God, in the next 24 months, is done.
The site inspection team consists of the client, which is TCN, and the delegation from the fund donor, the AFD, to assess the progress and attest to the work that is being done. The senior program officer at AFD for the TCN project made his remarks.
We're looking at 18 months. This is what the contractor told us. And just like the project manager from TCN said, the responsibility lies on General Electric to make sure that they meet up with the targets.
It is often said that teamwork is the best way to achieve great tasks. TCN takes cognizance of this and is increasing its collaboration with state governments towards providing critical power transmission infrastructure nationwide.
The Managing Director and CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Mr. UG Mohammed, during the period under review, signed an agreement with the Governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar Badaru, to provide support for the execution of a 330/132 kilovolts transmission line and substation projects across Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, and Bauchi states.
The state government will help us to provide right-of-way, and TCN will put the infrastructure. Actually, it's the best thing that we have done when we came to TCN.
The Governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar Badaru, in his remarks after the signing of the agreement, said TCN has demonstrated more partnership strategies to increase bulk power infrastructure in the state. He further said there is a commitment from the governors to solve the issue of right-of-way. After TCN has signed the collaborative pacts with the Jigawa State Governor and Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina State on the projects which cut across Katsina, Kano, and Jigawa states, the MD of TCN, UG Mohammed, and Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State later signed MOU for that of Kano. Governor Ganduje, in his remarks, said the state was ready to play a key role in ensuring the delivery of the projects. The TCN head also extended the call for collaboration to the Kwara State government, especially on securing the right-of-way for TCN to execute power transmission line projects in the state. Responding, the governor of Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, lauded TCN for the collaborative initiative. TCN also signed a memorandum of understanding MOU with the government of Ekiti State to provide right-of-way for the construction of a 132/33 kilovolt power transmission line running from Ado-Ekiti to Ilepeju and from Ado-Ekiti to Ijesha-Ishu. It also signed a pact for building the associated 2x60 MVA, 132/33 kV substations at Ilepeju and Ijesha-Ishu within the states. The state governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, represented by his deputy, Otumba Bisi Igbeyemi, expressed delight over the benefit the MOU will bring. Speaking on behalf of the Managing Director and CEO of TCN, Mr. UG Mohammed, the head transmission service provider TSP at TCN, Engineer Victor Adeumi, acknowledged that the singular 132 kV transmission substation in the state was grossly inadequate.
I want to tell you that this is one of the very few and the rare occasions where TCN will be implementing two substation projects in one state at the same time. As of now, the law of Nigeria rested the ownership of land on the shoulders of the governor. So that is why today we want to collaborate with Ekiti State to see how Ekiti can help us sort out the issues of right-of-way.
Capacity building is critical at the center of TCN. The management held a familiarization session on its ongoing process of acquiring the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition (SCADA) and the Electricity Management System (EMS). TCN also held an induction session for its freshly recruited engineers.
Towards a successful implementation of the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition (SCADA) and the Energy Management System (EMS) technologies, which will modernize Nigeria's power grid, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, held a capacity building session at its headquarters in Abuja, where it reawakened the zeal of its members of staff and engineers. The coordinator of SCADA World Bank project at TCN, Engineer Tombara Ejeku, spoke of what constitutes the SCADA and the EMS.
In a power system, you have all the different systems and you have one coordinating unit. Usually the SCADA system is at the National Control Center. That's what coordinates the entire power system, the generators, transmission and distribution.
Commenting on the presentation after he had listened to the energetic staff members, the managing director of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed, said his leadership will ensure that training and retraining of staff is maximized at TCN.
Those people who are going to implement SCADA, we have made a decision that we are going to train them to be able to do all those things they mentioned. All those things, we are going to train them for them to be able to do it. Now, there's users also, which include the market operator, the system operator, who are supposed to determine what is their needs. They have to say this is what they want. These people are part of project. They are part of project, meaning we don't want to start a project we don't know. We want a project that we own and we know where we're heading to, and that is what the team are going to do.
During an induction course TCN held for its fresh in-house engineers at its headquarters in Abuja, the managing director and CEO of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed, said the current management of TCN has laid a structure that could sustain the company and drive capacity development of in-house engineers. He gave the highlights of the achievements by TCN using the in-house engineers whose capacity is being developed continually.
As of today, out of the slightly above 800 containers that we have in the port, we have recovered 790 of those containers. Now, our TCN engineers to install those equipment and transformers across the network. And that is why we installed 69 high voltage power transformers across the network.
Key management officials of TCN also admonished the fresh engineers during the training.
Our expectation is that you will avail us your time and you will give us the requisite attention so that you can make the best out of it.
All this power we are talking about, how do I know that it's only one arm that is flowing in a particular circuit? You can only know by metering. Metering is not just about the meter in your house. Voltage metering, current metering, power metering will come across all of this. So gentlemen and ladies, on behalf of the transmission service provider of TCN, I want to welcome you to the Transmission Company of Nigeria. And I wish you well as you begin your career today.
That is it on Power Wheel for this edition. Watch out for a refreshing episode of your program next week. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. You can also interact with us on these other platforms as we strive to serve you better. Remember, the entire management and staff of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, care about you and want you to stay safe away from COVID-19. You can do this by washing your hands frequently, sanitizing your hands, practicing social distancing, and applying other preventive measures as given by concerned authorities. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Please stay safe.